Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the dust what comes one true and actual meaning.
Good, thank you. Your brother there too? Thomas?
He said he will be joining tomorrow because he's studying for an AP exam.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's do 1 minute meditation together. Okay, keep your back straight, your neck straight. Inhale and exhale to the nose. You count 1, inhale and exhale to the nose. Count 2, going. If you see your monkey mind, don't play with them. Just go back to your inhale and exhale. All right. If you lose track of your count, start from 1. All right, 1, 2, 3, 6, still, and close your eyes. Thank you. Yeah, today we last week we what about no we mentioned about the mom shooting hit her 2 sons, right? The one in the Philadelphia, right? The reason for that is I think it's the mom and that means their parent divorced, and that's why they dispute over the kid. So the mom want to take her son go back to Vietnam, and maybe the father who know the mom that her mental condition is not stable. That's why he did not want to bring the children back to Vietnam. So therefore they and you know what she decided to shoot her son, right? She the one who killed the children. This is terrible. The reason is she been when they in this situation. That means the parent in the deep depression. When they in the deep depression, Thomas, Thomas.
Yes, time.
When the last week we bring up the mom shooting killing her 2 sons. I think it's they are about 9 or 10, 9 and 10, I think, very young. I think they've been to the mom and I think they both parents been through a lot of difficulty. They fight over the kid, and that's why they been into the depression. Don't you think that when the parent would have a depression, is that a good idea for the parent to take care of the children?
No, because the parents is not worrying about themselves, and if they cannot take care of themselves, they cannot take care of anyone else.
You know the people who have anxiety, who have depression, Usually, when they make the decision, what do they base on to make their decision? Do you know?
Can you repeat that again?
Okay, when they in the depression, right? And usually they want to make the decision, right? What what do they base on to make that decision?
Uh, they just usually let the child do whatever they want. They don't really seem to care. I'm not really sure.
Hmm. Tell me, do you know when we have a depression, how do we make our decision?
So the decisions will be made based on fear. And that was what it sounds like that woman did, is she based her decision on the fear of not being able to take him back to Vietnam like she wanted to.
Hmm. So usually when we depressed, right, we usually based on our emotion, and when the person is depressed, right, their emotion is very terrible. It's very emotional. It's negative. Therefore, whenever we based on the emotion to make the decision, and remember, the one who have the depression usually they have the rumination. Rumination, that means the void, the small void in the inner void inside them. It keeps saying they repeat the same thing over and over again, and this easily leads them to commit suicide, and this is very dangerous. So today I am going to let you watch the video. I think it's very important um, okay. All right. Let me show you the video. Okay. Thomas, can you help me to summarize the story? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Can you hear it?
Yes, I.
Okay.
I'm sure all of us
If you cannot hear it clear, let me know. Okay?
can remember a time when we were sad, upset, or discouraged. A pet died, you got a bad grade, you had a fight with your best friend, and you were sad. That's natural. But eventually, a day, a week, a month passes, and we feel better. And even though the pain may not be completely forgotten, even though those brief periods of unhappiness should still be taken seriously, it passes. We feel better. But when you're living with depression, it doesn't just pass. It can strike after a tragedy or emerge out of the blue. It can come from stress and pressure from school, friends, and family, bullying and emotional abuse, and the media that damages our perception of self-image and self-worth. I grew up as a shy, quiet, and introverted kid. I had friends, but in third grade, my sister, who I was very close to, left to live with another family. And after she left, I became lonely. My depression started taking a toll on me in 8th grade. I rarely talked in school, and although my grades were good, I had no motivation. I felt very lost, and once I was in that rut, it felt impossible to try and get out. I had heard about cutting, how people hurt themselves to try and cope with their depression. So I tried it, and it became a habit, a go-to when I felt numb, for 3 years. The rest of 8th grade was hard. I was irritable, angry at the whole universe, and angry at myself most of all. The voices in my head were awful, self-loathing, and hateful. I cried almost every day, at the littlest of things, and felt nothing. I would have happily stopped existing. When I went into freshman year, my grades started to go down. I didn't have the motivation or energy to try harder. That year, I was sent to a therapist. She really didn't help me at all, though. In fact, she actually made me feel worse. Between freshman and sophomore year, I created a secret Instagram account. I wanted to reach out to other people also struggling with depression. Then sophomore year started, and my depression got worse. But I was chosen to be a part of the school's Natural Helpers program that year. Natural Helpers. It had to be a mistake. All the other natural helpers were outgoing and confident. Then it occurred to me. It was my Instagram, because reaching out to others on there was just as noticeable as reaching out to others in school. However, my self-destructive actions continued, forcing me to wear long sleeves and thick bracelets so no one would see, and I started depriving myself of food. I was sent to a different counseling place, which included group therapy. That didn't help either, though, because I had no interest in getting better. I just didn't care. During these years, there were many times when I wanted to die. I didn't necessarily want to kill myself, but I wanted to stop existing. I became unsafe. One night, the weekend before final exams, someone who still remains anonymous to me was afraid for my safety and called 911. I had gone to bed and woke up later that night to police officers in my living room, saying they got the call, saying I had to go to the hospital. I spent a fear-racked night in the emergency room, talking to various doctors and counselors, crying into the scratchy blue hospital gown. Talking to my parents was the worst part. I felt like I had let them down, because I wasn't as strong as they thought I was. School ended, summer began, and I felt just as lost as before. I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. A few weeks into summer, my parents decided to send me to a summer camp called Tanglewood, up in Lincolnville, to do a 3-week leadership program. Yeah, a 3-week leadership program. Perfect. Just what I needed. I was furious. The thought of living in the woods with other teenagers who I didn't know was terrifying. Despite my pleading, I had no choice. There were 5 other kids in the leadership program, 2 girls and 3 boys, and 1 male and female counselor. At first, I tried to isolate myself from them. I was scared to open myself up to them. But after all the challenge courses and group bonding activities, after 8 days of hiking and canoeing in the wilderness, I grew to trust them. They involved me in games and conversations. They offered me a seat next to them. They paid attention to me when I shared an idea. They went out of their way to make me laugh. On the 4th night of our trip, we were all sitting around our fire, and one of our counselors told us that we'd be doing PSs, personal stories. Every night, 2 of us would tell our life stories to the rest of the group. I decided that I was definitely going last. Every night, the 8 of us would pack ourselves into the boys' tent, which was only meant to hold 3 people. My turn finally came, and I was extremely nervous. But I decided to take the chance and tell them everything. I told them about my depression and anxiety. I told them about the hospital night. I told them everything. We stayed up until 3 in the morning talking, and when our counselors finally sent us to bed, I followed the other girls to our tent, and I remember just stopping for a moment and looking up at the sky, at all the stars, and I realized that I was smiling uncontrollably for the first time in years. I had hoped, at the very least, that they wouldn't stop being my friends after I told them about myself that night. I didn't expect that for the rest of the 3 weeks at camp, we would become even closer. We became a family. I realized that I was cared for and that I was loved. It hit me. I could be free from my depression. I didn't have to just live with it for the rest of my life. Since then, things have only gotten better. In the fall of junior year, I learned to stop judging people and made dozens of new friends. Later in junior year, I went into freshman health classes and spoke to them about overcoming pressure and judgment in high school. After receiving handwritten letters from the freshmen, I knew that with my words and story, I could change the world. I still use my Instagram to post encouraging quotes and personal stories to my almost 3,000 followers, including lots of my classmates. Every day, I'm reminded of the impact my kind words have. I'm beginning to fall in love with myself, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. I know that there are people in this audience who've experienced or are currently struggling with depression. This is for you. You are not in a bottomless pit. You are not in an endless tunnel without light. You are not a hopeless cause. Help is out there. You are loved and you are cared for. You have the power and the right to achieve everything you want in life. My life didn't just get better on its own. With help from friends, old and new, I realized that I am worth so much more than what I once thought, and that I have the power and the ability to view the world in a new way, as a place full of endless opportunities and amazing people. I've opened myself up to what the universe has to offer, and I've created my own beautiful life. I have emerged. Thank you.
Okay, Thomas.
So to summarize the video, she grew up as a shy, quiet, and introverted teen. Well, yeah. In third grade, her sister left her to another family. After she left, she became lonely. That's when her depression started happening to her and then like it started really happening during 8th grade. She didn't talk in school, and even though she did well in school, she had no motivation. She felt lost and felt it was impossible to escape it. She heard about cutting and how these people hurt themselves to try to cope with their depression, and she tried it, and then it became a habit, and she felt numb for 3 years. Throughout the years, she became more irritated with things and angry at the whole universe, mainly herself. And then going on to freshman year, her grades started to go down. She didn't have any motivation or energy to try harder. During that year, she was sent to like a therapist, but the therapist didn't really help her. The therapist really made her worse. She got sent to like many different counseling places, which included group therapy, which really didn't help. And she had no interest in getting better, so she didn't really care about it. But then one night, the weekend before final exams, someone who remains anonymous was afraid that she was going to do something and called 911, and she was sent to the ER. And the worst part for her was telling her parents and talking about it because she felt like she let them down. And after a few weeks into summer, her parents decided to sign her up into summer camp, I think in Lincolnville, to do like a 3-week leadership program. And she thought she didn't like it. She was scared. She didn't want to go live in the woods with like other people, mainly because she wasn't feeling well or something, and she was introverted. Going there, she actually grew to trust them because they had like lots of games, conversations, and they listened to her. And on the fourth night of the trip, they were sitting around the fire, and one of their counselors told them like to talk about their personal stories. And she wanted to go last, but when her turn came, she was very nervous, but she decided to take the advantage and tell them everything. She, let her heart out. So everyone basically stayed up to 3 in the morning talking about it. And when the counselors got them to bed, she realized that she was smiling for the first time in years. And basically, she thought them as a family. And later in the fall of junior year, she made new friends. She was not like overcome by pressure or any judgment at school. She has received like so many like handwritten letters from her freshman years, and she still posts on her Instagram trying to impact other kids in the world. And she knows, or basically at the end of the day, she knows that in the people in the audience everywhere in the world has experienced and struggled with depression, and that she wants to let them know that they're not in a bottomless pit. There's no endless tunnel, and it's not hopeless. And help is still out there for everyone, and there's lots of endless opportunities and amazing people.
Wow, you summarize in very detail. Wow, that's excellent. So let's see, Nicholas. Nicholas.
Yeah.
What did you learn from this story?
I kind of learned what he said about how it's good to spread kindness, and I think that's like what she did of using social media to spread out and help people on her Instagram. I think more people like should do something like that and try and help other people.
That means after she got out the depression, right? But
Yeah.
in this story, what make her beginning that she became depression? Serena,
Yeah,
what caused her to become depression?
I don't know exactly, but was it because she lost someone and then she became lonely?
Yeah, lonely. In this situation, it's the main thing that make cause her to become depression. And what did she do to herself? What did she do to herself?
She cut herself.
Yeah, is that a good thing to harm yourself?
No.
No. Usually when the people are depressed, right? They easily harm themselves because that's how they they deal with the depression. That's very scary. Um, and uh, okay, Kevin, Kevin, Vivian, are you there? Larry,
Yeah.
what make her when she had the therapist or either therapist and group of therapists cannot be able to help her? What were the reason?
Sometimes therapists actually aren't certified. Maybe they're and sometimes you just don't have the right therapist because different people work well with different kinds of therapists, or you just have to keep trying until you find the right therapist for you.
In this situation, do you think that even we find the right therapist can they help her?
I think they definitely could, because I remember she was talking to her friends at the camp, and it helped her. So if they found the right therapist, then maybe they could talk to her
Well,
some other way.
the people at the camp, they are not the therapists, right? They the people at the camp, they are not the therapists. Right? Okay. So, but thank you, that's good. Victor, Victor, yeah, are you there, Victor? Tell me, what do you think? Why what therapist cannot be able to help her?
Well, she had said in the bill it was because she wasn't ready. So it's because she wasn't ready to open up to the therapist.
Right,
And it might be easier to open up to your peers than to a therapist also.
right, right. The whole idea is she did not want to get better. That make it doesn't matter how good the therapy is, they cannot be able to help someone that if that person is not ready for it, if that person not willing to open, right? Um, so she did not want to get better, and she did not care, right? That kind of mentality will not be able to let other people help. But in this situation, let's see. Um, Thomas, Thomas,
Yes, sir.
why the 3 week camping it be able to help her?
Because she was I mean, she's still a teenager, and her hanging out with a lot of like students her age also like they had like an impact as well, and they were also everyone was open about each other. They talked a lot. The counselors, they
Mm,
were not like forcing it, and they listened to her too. And
mm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's important. That's correct. If, when we in this situation, right? If we have a friend like this and we want to help them, we make sure that we really love and care for them. That is the most important. And we have to be very patient with them. We make sure we include them as just our own family member. So this is touch her and this is hit her right on the spot. This is important. So therefore, and especially on the night, right? That were 4 night, the last 4 night, they spend time together. They share the they share the personal story that hit her so good. Um, uh, Serena, why the personal story is so important that help her to be able to get out of the depression.
Why the what now?
The personal story, right? She the one who tell them about her own personal story at the end.
Why it was helping her get out of her depression?
Yeah. Why?
Honestly, because you said she was depressed because she became depressed because she was lonely. I think honestly her being able to tell her own story to her friends actually helped her a lot to open her eyes to see that she isn't alone anymore and she could get over that
Mm.
that one block that depression was blocking her from seeing the other side, that after she could tell others she realized she wasn't stuck anymore, she could still continue on without having to kill herself, knowing that she wasn't alone anymore, and telling other people was helping her.
Just like when we holding our negative feelings, right, or our negative thinking inside us for a long time, that makes us to become a very burden. It's very heavy on our shoulder, on our shoulder. But when we tell them everything, that means we try to expose that, and we try to express all the things that we hiding inside us. We let it go one for all. And that's how, if that's the case, that means when we have a friend like this, and we be able to sit down and to become a very good listener, all we need to do is just become a good listener and try to let them do the talk. And when they talk and they will express all the things that they have inside, and you know what? After they talk, they will feel much better. This is important. And the person who in the depression, usually they are self-image, self-worth, self-worth. That means they always think that they are worthless, right? They are not worthy. But one after they after she express all the say told them everything. That means now she saw the connection with the other people because they treat her as a family. This is important. Therefore, she saw that her image now is different, and she see herself is more worthy than before, and that's why she built her own self uh, esteem. Right? That means that's how she boost her own self esteem. Important. This is very important. Okay, that's good. That's good. I think it's really very good one. So that is really good. Let's continue on our study. And we have to be very kind to ourselves, right? To be more compassionate to ourselves. And that means do not try to harm us. If we in this situation, we try to be kind to ourselves. Uh, it's tough, but we need to reach out, right? We need to reach out. So last time we stopped right here. Let's continue on this thing here. Oh, okay. What happened? Okay. Okay, Elizabeth. You read number 2, please, Elizabeth.
If I fail this test, I would never pass school and I would be a total failure in life.
What happened to this one?
Can you repeat that, Teddy?
What happened to this example? What wrong with this one?
They think that they failed the test and they won't pass school. They think that they are a total failure.
Do you think that one test can make you fail your school?
No.
No. Then that means this sentence right here, right? It's something wrong with this one. But how do we fix it?
If you fail the test, don't think that you're a total failure.
And then what should you do?
Just tell yourself you could do better next time.
Okay. You can try harder, right? So you can do better next time. But always, okay, keep going. What?
I was gonna say nothing.
Okay, thank you. So basically, we say that yes, even though I failed this test, right, I'm willing to take a look at my test, right? What did I make? What wrong? What kind of mistake I have? So I can review those problems that I got wrong. I will make sure that I master it, and I will try the best. Next time, I think it would be better. Okay, so this is how we change the negative thinking into positive thinking. This is important. So, Vivian, are you there now? Vivian? Oh, Vivian, I think she dropped out already. Okay, Jaden, go ahead, Jaden.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Number
If
3.
I fail this test, I will never pass school and I will be a total failure in life.
No, number 3.
Oh, if I don't recover quickly from this procedure, I will never get better and I will be disabled my entire life.
So what's wrong with this one?
Well, he thinks that if he doesn't recover from like what I think is some kind of medical decision, then he thinks that he's going to be like then he thinks like that's just the be all end all for his entire life. Like he will just be disabled forever.
Okay, so with this procedure, if you don't recover quickly, it doesn't mean that it will disable you for entire life. Okay. So how do you change that into positive?
Maybe you could think of like if I work hard enough on myself, then I could if I work on myself hard after this procedure finishes, then I will quickly recover from this procedure.
That means you spend more time to exercise or to take a good care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then depend on how much time you willing to put in, and that means that will determine your recovery. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Thank you, Victor. Victor, number 4, go. Victor, are you there, go? Nicholas, number 4. Nicholas, are you there? Okay. Larry, you want to go ahead and try this? Number 4.
Example 4. If my partner leaves me, I will never find anyone else and I will never be happy again.
What's wrong with this thing?
It's basing your entire happiness for the rest of your life. It's basing it on just one partner.
So how do we fix it?
You probably say, if my partner leaves me, it might be a while before I find anyone else, and it might be a while before I'm happy again, but you can still find someone else, or you can still be happy.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. And from the example 2, 3, 4, so far, what do we see the definition about catastrophizing? Well, what do you see the common thing in here? What do you see? What did it refer to this one? Catastrophizing.
I don't know.
Okay. Serena,
What?
do you see the example 2 and 3 and 4? What are the common things that give you the definition of catastrophizing? This is this type of thinking. What do you understand from this? What are the common?
From author examples, what do I understand?
Mhm. Mm.
It always starts with if, because it's always something, I guess, in ways negative, like they keep thinking negative that if they see they haven't done it yet,
Mm.
like if I fail this test, they haven't taken the test, but they are thinking that if they did, or example 3 says if they don't recover, they're currently going through recovery. And they said they're probably have a partner right now. They say, if my partner leaves me, I think they're all thinking negative because they're scared of something negative that
Predict
could
something,
happen.
right? They predict something is not happened yet, right?
They keep thinking something that's not gonna happen, that
Mm.
could happen, but that's one of the ways that could happen. They're not thinking of the positive things that could happen.
Right. So they always predict the negative things happen to them, right? And that's what the definition of catastrophizing. When they give themselves predict of the negative outcome in the future, that means they turn the thing upside down, right? Instead of they happy, they become very stressed and depressed. Okay, go ahead, Serena. Will you do number 5 for me, please?
What if questions? What if he didn't call because he got into an accident? What if she hasn't arrived because she really didn't want to spend time with me? What if I help this person and they end up betraying or abandoning me? Several questions might follow in response to one event.
Good. So what do you understand from this one?
Basically, the person is thinking of negative things that hasn't happened. Like most likely they're currently going through these situations, but they're thinking the negative parts. Like, I don't know, maybe as the first one says, what if he didn't call because he got into an accident? They're probably waiting for someone, but they think, what if he got into an accident? And same as everything else.
So can you change the first one?
First one?
Yeah.
What if he didn't call because he got into an accident? What if he didn't call because he got into traffic? Or what if he didn't call because he's planning a surprise and getting me something like that?
Mm-hmm. Or maybe he busy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Number 2. What I mean, that's the second one. What if he have not arrived?
To make it positive?
Yeah.
same thing, like what if she's late, or what if she's stuck in traffic, or what if she has something to do before arriving to join me?
And go ahead, do the number 3 as well. I mean,
What if I help this person? Will they become my friend? What if I help this person? Would they stay with me? I
it's tricky, very tricky. What if I help this person, right? They end up, even though they, what you should think, even though they, you know what? I try my best because I love to help people, right? I try my best to help other people. If it doesn't come out well at the end, it's okay. I'm okay with it. When you have that mindset, and that means no one can make you upset, no one make you sad. If you have that type of mentality without detachment, do when you help someone, or when you do good thing, good deed, right? Do not attach to the good deed that you do. You after you're done, just forget it. Don't try to remember. And what else? If someone tries to come back, even though they betray us, they say, okay, I already tried my best to help them, and that's it. That's okay. So that helps you to prevent from suffering, right? In the future. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Quyên, you do number 6, huh?
What if my alarm doesn't go off? What if then I'm late for the important meeting? What if I get fired after I've worked so hard for this job?
So how did you change the first one?
Set multiple alarms?
Okay, that's multiple alarm. That's right. That means we're not very good at wake up. Oh, what you can do is yeah, set multiple alarm. Yeah, that's good. That's one way. What about the second one?
I'm not sure about that one.
What if then I am late for the important meeting? Well, you try to prepare. You should prepare yourself because this is the most important meeting, right? Try to get early, get there early, at least half an hour or an hour, right? Try your best. If things doesn't work out well, because after you've done your best, it doesn't come out, and then hopefully they understand, right? Hopefully they understand. Well, can you do the last one? What if I get fired after I have worked so hard for this job?
Don't overthink about it.
Don't think about it. Okay. Remember when during the COVID time, you know what? A lot of people lose their job because the economy went down, right? So even though we work very hard for the company and we still lose our job, it's okay. And I already tried my best. Maybe I can find another job, I guess. Of course, um, but when you work hard, right? Usually your employer or your boss will not fire you. They will not fire you. Fire you, they can lay you off, but they don't fire you. Lay off because they reduce the because the economy for the company is terrible. They cannot make money, and therefore they need to reduce the manpower, right? So they can lay off. But when you work really hard for the company, I don't think it's very rare to fire the one who work hard. Tell me, can you help them to understand this situation?
Yeah, so you're right. They won't fire you if you work hard. And if they do fire you and you're a hard worker, then you can go collect unemployment. So that's a win.
Yeah, you can apply for the unemployment benefit.
Right. Yeah. As long as you got fired and it was for no cause of yours, then you can go get unemployment for a while.
But usually if you are the employer, right? Who will you fire?
Well,
If you are the employer, who will you fire?
it depends. So if you're just trying to lay off because you got you don't have enough work and you got too much staff, then probably the ones that haven't been around as much. So I would look at probably time and ability. So the ones that are better employees, they're more capable, that have been around, understanding what's going on. You're going to want to hold on to them and cut the ones that don't have as much as experience. But on the other hand, if you're looking at trying to make more money, or if you're losing money, then you might cut people that are high paid employees because you're trying to. You know, it just depends on what you're looking at. But no, normally if you're performing well, they're gonna want to keep those employees.
Yeah, because that is the revenue of the company, right? That's important. So usually, because we work in the company for, I worked for many different companies before I became a monk. So usually the company, when they are lay off or fire, is the one who, let's say in the good time, right? If we are lazy, we are not fully responsible for our job, right? And they will notice and they will make a note. And when the difficult time come to when the company encounter the difficult time, right? So they going to look into, okay, who I'm going to lay off, who I am going to fire, and they will look at those people that they make a note. They will do first. So usually, if we work hard and we are the one who benefit the company, I don't think they will easily lay off or fire us. No, I don't think so, because we are the one who help the company to keep the company running. So if you try you do your best, then this should be okay. Don't be afraid of those things. Okay, that's good. All right. Let me go ahead and you read from the beginning.
Did you say example 7?
Before example 7.
Okay. Ambiguity or being vague can open a person up to catastrophic thinking. Example 7, you would be getting a text message from a friend or partner that reads, "We need to talk." This vague message could be something positive or negative, but a person cannot know which of these it is with just the information they have. So they must start to imagine the very worst news.
Okay, so what do you think in this situation?
So they don't need to start to imagine the very worst news. I don't know where that sentence came from. That was horrible. So yeah, not giving enough information, being vague. That's very frustrating. I hate when people do that. But you don't want to go to it's going to be the worst thing possible. Just like you don't want to go to it's going to be the best thing possible either, because then you could be disappointed. So you just want to just know that they need to talk and try not to put too much emphasis on that, which is difficult, but just to try to let it go, release it until you have that conversation to figure out exactly what they need.
Sometimes we might know something, right? Do you think? If we have a relationship with that person for a while, we will know, right? Do you think?
To know what they want to talk about?
Yeah. Do you think? Maybe maybe we some flu. We have some flu.
Maybe, but some people are just like that. That's just how they talk. Because they're always wanting you to come after more, so they'll just be talk vague. Some people, I think, that's just the way they are.
Okay, just like you said, that don't be in panic, but don't be too positive. Just stay cool. and wait until we have a conversation and go with it. It's okay. Don't make yourself nervous too much. It doesn't help anyone. Okay. Victor, are you there? Huh? Victor? Vivian is not there. All right. Alan, you want to try it, Alan? Yeah, relationship and situation.
Relationships and situations that a person holds in high value can result in a tendency to catastrophize. When something is particularly significant to a person, the concept of loss or difficulty can be harder to deal with. Example 8. A person who would be applying for a job that he wants, he may start to imagine the great disappointment, anxiety, and depression he will experience if he does not get the job before the organization has even made any decisions.
Okay, what's wrong with this one then?
Is something wrong with this one? Is some kind of stress that we that a person do is come up with struggles. Something difficult that a person can do when applying for a job. This means undecided for them.
Okay, let's say that if we about to apply for a job and we just submit the resume, right? And
I submit resume.
right, and they call you for the interview, right? They will call you for. Let's say that they call you for the interview, and you are waiting for the day you come to for the interview. And if you have this kind of thinking, is that a good thing?
Difficult thinking.
Do you think that will help you to have a good interview?
Well, it's something that like that we have a delay in communication. Delay in communication during the interview. That would mean someone may need help for him, for that person.
Larry, what do you think? If you are, let's say that you are applied for the job, right? And they give you the date for the interview. And in the meantime, you have this kind of thinking. Is that a good thing or what? What happened?
You asked if it's a good thing.
I think no, but you understand the question so far?
Yeah. You asked if it was a good thing.
Yeah. What happened if you have that kind of thinking before you come to the meeting?
If you have that kind of thinking before the meeting, then it might be hard to answer questions. You'd be stressed.
Jaden, what do you think?
Sure, right? Maybe. Well, wait. No, not that.
Let's say that you apply for the job, right? They call you for the interview. They give you the date, and in the meantime, you before the meeting for interview meeting, you have this kind of thinking. What do you think? What do you think your meeting when you come to the meeting for your interview? What will happen to you?
well, maybe. Well, your brain would probably be like catastrophizing, but in reality, your situation would be okay.
But do you think that it will benefit your interview?
No, it'd probably make you worse.
Okay. Serena, what do you think, Serena?
What?
What do you think? If you apply for the job, right? And they give you the date for the interview, and you in the meantime, before the you come for the interview, you already have this kind of imagination, right? You start to imagine the great disappointment, anxiety, and depression if you experience it that if you do not get the job.
So you haven't gotten like the interview yet, right?
No, you have not yet. That's right. And let's say that you already have this kind of thinking, and when you come to the meeting for the interview, what will happen? What could happen to you?
You won't get the job because you're already thinking that negatively about yourself, and you're not focusing on what should be happening and what should be happening, that you want this job, that you're going to get it, that you're not thinking positive enough, that you're going to be like so bothered that you're going to mess up through your whole interview and you won't get it anyways because you're thinking negatively about yourself. You need to be more confident to even get the job and do the interview right, and they'll think about you getting the job. But since you're so nervous and you get like you're so disappointed and you get anxiety, you need to try to calm yourself down, control yourself, and get prepared.
How do you calm yourself down?
Do things that you like, get prepared, try practicing with yourself, like think positively.
How do you change this thing? How do you change this thinking? How do you change
it?
Yeah.
Say that you can do it. You're going to get the job. You got this. Think positively about yourself. Oh, I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna do really good on this. If I don't get this interview, I always have other times, and this is a way for me to get ready, and I'm getting experience to interview for another job.
Yeah, that's right. That's really good. Right? Even though you fail for this interview, but that is a good experience for another job. That's correct. This is good. So that's how you calm yourself, right? And you see that when we have a negative thinking, if we know how to change it, that means you allow yourself to calm down. That's important. You see, a lot of people who have depression because this kind of negative thinking it always repeats over and over again in their mind, in their brain. We call the rumination. Yeah, this is terrible. That's why they terrify themselves, and they some point they come to commit suicide because of this. You see. Okay. All right. Let's stop here today. Let me ask you, each one. Serena, do you think this kind of topic? Do you think it? You have interest into us continue learning on this thing, or you want me to change to a different topic totally? Since we in this topic for a while, do you think it's worth it to continue learn on this thing?
I'm fine with whatever.
Whatever.
Huh?
So you interested in this kind of learning?
Yeah.
Okay. William, what do you think? William?
I'm interested in this type of topic.
You do have interest. Okay, that's good. Jaden, what do you think? Because I want to know your feedback so I can continue on. Otherwise, I will change the topic. Jaden.
It's interesting because we got to learn how people's minds work and how we can recover from our bad experiences and how to learn from them.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a very good one. Larry, what do you think? What do you think this topic?
I don't know a lot about it, but it's important for people to know about.
But do you think that the thing you learn it benefits you so far? That help?
Yeah, especially hearing about the other woman's story.
Hmm. Thomas, what do you think?
Okay, what do you think about what?
This kind of topic, do you think that we can continue on, or
Yeah, yeah.
after you learn, what do you think? What kind of benefit do you think that it benefits you?
Oh, well, watching the video, I learned that, not every like those therapists at school or counselors they give you will always work. There will be a therapist that works out there, but and I learned that there's also a lot of good people out there as well that are willing to help, like cure depression as well, even though it's hard.
Emmy, what do you think?
Yes, I think this is a good topic to continue on. I think it's very helpful, and that the youth here are very lucky to have this kind of material presented to them.
You know what? This kind of topic here, when we learn it, it not only benefits ourselves, but when we look at other people, we know who they are. This is important. Because the way they behave, the way they think, their attitude, we be able to determine who they are. And we can be able to help them, or if they become very terrible, we can avoid. We can we don't want to deal with those people if we are not ready. So this is important. Hung, what do you think, Hung? Hung.
That's right.
For this topic, what have you done so far?
Like, what do you mean?
For the depression, after you learn from me many months, what kind of benefit do you think that you get? It helps you, or what?
I learned about like what is it? Brain damage can like actually cause depression, and not if you're not interacting that much, you'll start to like feel lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm. Okay, good. That's good. Victor, are you there, guy? Victor? So in here, especially for the teenager like you guys, right? As this thing here, the more you know, the earlier you know, the better you are. Because when you encounter the emotional problem, and you know how to deal with your emotion in the right way, it will help you. After you learn this, you know how to change from negative thinking into positive. It's much better. Instead of you have a lot of suffering, you have less suffering or even no suffering. That's important. So on based on your way of thinking. Huh? Okay, okay, we start right here. Okay. Go ahead, read this one.
may every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. People hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity. May their minds awaken to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become passionate and wise. May all become passionate and wise.
Good. Thank you, everyone. I wish you have a good weekend. All right. Thank you. See you. Okay, Larry, tomorrow come to the temple. We have a Buddha birthday. Con.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm coming tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Good. That's good.